The question was, is coming from the text from Doug or Queenie. Talk about leadership and preparing people for leadership positions. So talk about leadership. What's my role in leadership? My leadership style is cooperative. I build teamwork and a momentum for us all to move forward together. That's my natural go-to. That's my natural response. I'm not the strong-willed leader that has to get his way. That's the very opposite of me. Feel free to ask my wife about that later, if she'll let you. I'm sorry, honey. Building a cooperative relationship and then moving forward. And so since I don't have an agenda for just shifting things around, based on helping your team leaders, right? Your team leaders, helping deacons, helping the leadership team do the absolute best job they can to the honor and glory of God. What I bring to the table is first an idea of aggressive and repeated training, evaluation, and accountability. Too many times we put somebody in a position and say good luck with that, and we never actually train them so they know what they're doing and they know what they're supposed to do. And I can fix that. I can do that. I'm a trainer. So I want to bring training, and then we can evaluate how you're doing in that role and make sure you're on task. And that also involves accountability to make sure that you succeed. So I can bring that to the team leaders and the team committees. And that's a natural outflow from my skill set. In that context, it's also important to realize that something that we are very bad at is raising up the next leader. Raising up the next leader. It's not enough for you to be in a leadership role and you to be trained, evaluating, and accountability and know that you're doing the task and you're doing the task well. You also must be raising up the person to replace you later. Mentoring your replacement. And so we start mentoring your replacement. We start training, we start evaluating, we start holding them accountable. And when it's time for you to step down, they can step in. The result of not doing that is people get stuck in positions for 30 years having no idea what they're actually supposed to be doing, not knowing if they're doing it well or doing it bad, and have no idea of how to get out without hurting people's feelings. And all of that fixes it. All of that fixes it. We need to be training somebody up behind us. And then the third thing for my leadership and preparing leaders is volunteering is hard. Volunteering is difficult. And volunteers do the absolute best in the church. And volunteers in the church are just the real warriors for Christ. And so what I like to do, what I'm going to bring to the church, is I'm absolutely committed to dedicating an entire week, Monday through a Sunday, every single year, where that week is to celebrate our volunteers, where we literally throw a party and celebrate our volunteers, what they have done, what they have achieved in the last 12 months. And I want to name names and mention accomplishments and really celebrate all the work for the Lord that each person has been doing in the organization. Now I know that it's hard to get volunteers, and you can be in a church environment where it's like pulling teeth. But it has been my experience in the past 30 years of ministry that when you are training, evaluating, and holding accountable a leader on mission, and they are preparing somebody behind them to replace them, and once a year for an entire week you celebrate the achievements of all of your volunteers, something very interesting happens in the group. People start volunteering to volunteer because they know they're not going to be left hanging. They know they're going to be trained. They're going to know that they're succeeding, and they know that when they do well, they're going to be celebrated. And so instead of pulling teeth, all of a sudden we've got volunteers and we've got to find stuff for them to do, and the ministry expands. And we have more reasons to celebrate. Now, Dale, you've heard that 5 times. Did I miss anything in that?
No, like you said, I've heard it several times.
Okay.
You said the same thing all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And that's awesome. Yeah.
I'm at least being consistent. Yeah. Yeah. I threatened in one meeting to change the answers, but I talked myself out of doing that.